Well, here I go again with one of these little update videos, but this should be the last of them. And I'm really mostly just making this one because even as of today, tonight, as of my shooting this, I'm still getting the odd comment in the comment section and little notes about, did something happen, Ben? What's going on? So I figured, me posting to Facebook and Twitter and X and Patreon about it, that it would be more than adequate, but I guess not. So, yes, in short, Dad passed away on Thursday, August the 7th, and I will come back to that. So, yeah, everybody should know by now. This should be the last of the notifications. So anyway, as such, I'll just kind of bring you up to speed on what's going to be going down in the next couple of weeks or so, but really not a whole lot is going to change. Everything's going to stay pretty consistent with what I've been talking about, certainly over the summer here. So anyway, Dad went into hospice care on Monday the 4th, and in the days leading up to that, we were kind of in limbo. So I was here at Archive HQ trying to make at least a couple of videos to just see if I could have something at the ready to put out. And indeed, I got 2 videos recorded and one about 75% edited as of the middle of the day on Monday when I got word that he was being taken to hospice. And then, of course, all operations were suspended after that. So that video that I had mostly edited was the one that came out this past week on the wireless microphone, which incidentally I'm using right now to make this just as a matter of convenience. And if you notice any kind of weird tonal clashes with it, that's why. And indeed, the second video I was working on will come out this coming week, and that one's going to be kind of half of a rant and half of my latest misadventure in media preservation. So yeah, if things seem a little off key, even by my standards, that's why. So anyway, the only quirk that's we're going to be looking at here is the final week of August. So we just got the funeral plans all set up, and it just worked out that the only day we could get was a Thursday. So in the name of not having to compete with that and me trying to quick put out a video and update the website in the morning, I'm just going to make it a day early that week. It'll be a Ben's Junk week or something akin to it. So yeah, it'll be Wednesday that week and Tuesday for Patreon. So otherwise, here's what I expect my life to look like for the next, by my estimate, month or so. So starting a couple of days, maybe 3 days after Dad died, I started working in my parents' garage, which in the, I hate to say earlier part of his dementia, but a few years back, he was just taking his tools and stuff and just throwing them in the garage, just kind of randomly, whatever random corner, into boxes, and he wasn't closing them, and all sorts of stuff like that. So it's been, for the first time in a few years, anybody so much as sweeping out the garage, but also me going through and cleaning all this stuff and testing out the electric, the power tools, make sure they still work and all. And I got one of those Husky garage racks, the ones that are supposed to be rated for like 750 pounds per shelf, and got that built. And I need to still pick up some of those like waterproof totes at the hardware store and get it all put together, hang stuff up on the walls, and just get things organized. He had a couple of cabinets that were just straight falling apart that I was trying to repair, so I've been working on that, but I've only been lasting about 4 hours at a shot because it's been just so hot and humid around here lately that even with, taking some decent breaks, it's all I can stand. So I'm still working on that. And then after the services, however you want to look at it, Mom has already asked me to clean out Dad's closet and stuff. She said she just can't handle that. So I'm going to do that for her, get his bathroom cleaned out, try and do whatever needs to happen with his belongings, clothes going to whatever thrift store or charity or whatever, that sort of thing. And once I finally have all that taken care of, I got crap just built up all around here. So I'm going to be working on that, finally getting Archive HQ back in order. So admittedly, for the last couple of years now, when I've been needing something that I already have for Archive and I get it out of storage, I have just been kind of throwing it in a corner instead of properly putting things away, or I buy something and I never file it. And so I've got a whole ton of work to do around here, and I might as well make an upgrade or two while I'm at it. So I'm going to be working on that. And then of course, whenever one half of a married couple dies, there's a bunch of extra paperwork and notifications and stuff. So I'm working with Mom on that, and we'll continue to until that's all sorted out. And then just kind of evenings and weekends try and do some Ben's junks and whatever else to hopefully keep this channel afloat. I noticed that YouTube was not happy with me for skipping a week. They've been kind of doing their best to bury that video on the microphone that I'm using here. So anyway, once all that's sorted, I want to start going thrifting again, see if I can't get some thrifting videos made and put out by the end of the year. I'm going to tell you right now, there will not be a Silent Movie Day episode this year. However, whatever that Thursday or Friday leading up to September 29th is, I will do an Archiveland public domain theater live stream, and it'll be a special silent movie edition. Any suggestions, anyone? So by my reckoning, I'd say the next whole number archive episode will be, I've been wanting to do another Halloween episode. Didn't get to do one last year, so it'll be more one of my perpetual Halloween goofs, and then like a greatest hits thing like I usually do for Thanksgiving. For Christmas, I may skip the usual like mix of records and videos that I do, and maybe try and shoot for something a little more high concept, or maybe some sort of low-level travelogue or something. So I'm still kind of kicking around those ideas, but certainly come January, it'll be trying to get back into more traditional, if you will, archive videos here. So anyway, for those of you who are daring enough to listen, I'll come back around to where I started and talking about, Dad passing. So he just went so quick. We admitted him grudgingly to the behavioral hospital on July 6th, and he, was gone 1 month and 1 day later. So anyway, he was supposed to go into hospice still in late July, but there was just one hang up after another. Finally got in there Monday the 4th, and it became kind of this endless game of at least Mom or I, ideally both of us, being there with him. And we were mostly successful with that. When it came to the important stuff, there was indeed at least one person. But anyway, on Wednesday, I came first thing in the morning. I was there right when the doors opened at 7. Mom had been just simply living there, and she'd come home to shower and stuff, and I would take over for her. But most of the time, it was both of us there. But anyway, Wednesday, we had a couple of close calls, and I just felt like I needed to stay. So I did just that, and I have had a pinched sciatic nerve to show from sleeping on the couch in that room. But anyway, I hadn't planned on being there overnight at all, but yeah, it just seemed right on Wednesday. Real bright and early Thursday morning, about 5 o'clock in the morning, he seemed to be stable. He'd had a pretty good night, and it's like, I think I'm going to try and get a shower and come right back. Left the hospice at 5:15 in the morning. 10 minutes later, I got the text from Mom. he's gone. And I just turned right around and came back. So I've been kind of kicking myself for that one. But by the same token, I've been seeing like on Facebook and stuff that sometimes that's intentional, that even if you think they're not necessarily there mentally enough, that they really are still aware enough and they don't want you to be there, or they only want a certain person to be there. So I'm trying to look at it that way, but at the very least, Mom was at his side at that time. So yeah, and that made for a very rough Thursday morning. I certainly won't deny that. So anyway, yeah, there's my terrible little story. But anyway, that should bring you up to date here. I'll see you again soon.